dating of the sediment. We looked at vertical concentration profiles, where over the depth of the core we would look at the various metal concentrations, and we could see if there was any patterns that would reflect historic deposition. And we also looked at the general changes beneath the sediment surface, and we compared those concentrations to our regional or background locations. So the overall answer to question number 2 regarding the metals concentrations at depth. Firstly, that the near-site sediment deposition rates were variable, but they were generally similar to background, which was around 0.2 inches per year. That's the rate of new sediment that's being laid down on the sediment in the vicinity of the site. In the area of the outfall number 1, the deposition was slightly greater than that. Secondly, in the area of OF1, the metal concentrations were more variable, but they typically peaked or were their highest between 3 to 7 feet below the sediment surface. Within the rest of the study area, further off-site, we did not see that in the vertical profiles, and there was not a continuation of high concentrations in sediment depth. So to summarize, are there important differences in metal concentrations with depth? The most concentrated areas with the metals, both at the surface and at depth, were in the vicinity of outfall number 1. And some of those concentrations reached relatively deep into some of the sediment. So to summarize our sediment investigations, the remedial investigation concluded that the near-site area does not exhibit biological community impact relative to background. That's based on the results of the toxicity testing, the benthic community sampling, the clam tissue analysis that was done, and the other biological predictors. Regardless of those conclusions and the results of the remedial investigation, the DEC has required the removal of the highest concentration of metals within the sediment adjacent to outfall number 1. That's it.
Good evening. My name is Nat Barber. As I was introduced earlier, I'm an attorney with DEC.